another game after this one, possibly going the distance with a Game 5. I'll have to check out and see what happens. Anyways, the picks continuing. Of course, joined by FJ once again as my co-caster here. Been a fun series so far. Hey there.
All right, Breaky. Well, last time I was just checking the podcast chats and it looked like people want me to give a little bit more insight as to what I'm doing here, so I'll try to be a little bit more insightful instead of just blabbering as I tend to do. But I'm trying to get used to co-casting instead of main casting because that's what I do on my own channel. So I'll try to do that instead.
It's a little bit of change of pace for sure, but
I'll try.
I think you're doing great so far, FJ. Just great. So. Speaking of this game, though, all right. So one of the things that's really standing out to me, I mean, Parasite, Warbeast, Ophelia, Midas were the bans, but Andromeda first pick by Solaire Club. Now that's interesting. We were just talking about Andromeda kind of last game and her win percentage, but what do you think of an Andromeda first pick, though?
It's a very interesting first pick. It kind of says that we wanna pick something that deals a lot of physical damage, has a lot of base damage. Obviously, has the minus armor. Now that you do pick up the Tempest as well, you kind of eliminate the chances of your opponent having the Andromeda swap out Tempest, like a hard counter Tempest, for instance. Who, however, went for a long-range ganking lineup. See that Magnus? Imagine the Magnus, the Beaker, the Bubble, the Dark Repulsor. There's a lot of heavy ganking potential there. It's very long-distance ganking, and it's gonna be hell being SolC in this game. I can tell you that. Unless they get the lead early on, it's gonna be a game of war. It's a game of either being clutched up as 5, taking these team fights early on, and pushing as 5, or you're going to find yourself in a rough spot with Magnus, Dr. Pulse, and Bubbles constantly being on your butts. Try to not saying curse words here, but constantly being on your butts here. And you have the Prisoner here. Once again, Prisoner, that's the 3rd game in a row that we've seen him here.
Yeah.
And he is definitely a powerful hero, but we'll see. We'll see how he turns out this game.
Yeah, all play by Solaire Club too, and again we see the Bubbles reaction pick though this time around, just like game 2, coming out here as well. So now Prisoner is great against the Dr. Repulsor, to be fair. They now that I'm certain of. The Shaco will prevent ludicrous speed. That
true.
I do.
That it does.
So. That's a little bit more reason once again to maybe pick it up here. But yeah, this is clearly a hero that I guess that they're just comfortable playing and will continue to do so. The band's
I love
finishing.
the ban on the curse, by the way.
Yeah.
The ban on the curse, like the curse shield actually eliminates the debuff that Prisoner applies.
Yeah.
I believe the shackle that
if
you apply a shield to someone who's shackled, it removes it. So that's a very great ban. Good insight coming out from Noob McNoob. He also decides to go ahead and ban the Keep of the Forest, which is a ban that we have not seen often. But with heroes such as Magnus, Dr. Pulse, and Bubbles, Keep of the Forest very often works out. So I like this ban. I think it's great. And Ravenor, obviously, we've seen it a lot. And I'm Carrier decides to go ahead and ban Clangs. And Solstice even, for that matter. Interesting bans, for sure.
Yeah, Solstice.
Clangs is not one of those... What do you think about Clangs? Do you think he's rated as do you think he's overrated? Because I feel like he's a little bit on the same spot as Ravenor here. That he can easily be shut down, but he's powerful if ignored.
No, yes and no. I mean, the two glaring differences is Ravenor's, up in your face, can be more of the initiator, whereas Clanks is I'm going to sit back and be a glass cannon. Damage dealer. Now, I will say I've been more and more surprised seeing Clanks in terms of he has a lot of magic damage. He can do physical, with the items eventually, but he really is majority magic damage for most of the game, which I find interesting. But well, I mean, we've seen him good potential in certain hands. Imba Boy likes to play him. I know Baltazar loves to play him. So there are a couple of teams that do run him, and he has that kite factor. So I could have seen it. It wouldn't have been out of the question here, but. We're not going to see it, though, because obviously banned out. But they do go Behemoth again. So very similar lineup. Yeah. Man.
The help on side doesn't really scream strong ahead. So I guess that may be one of the reasons why you ban out a hero like Clanks, because he has so much magic damage and you are not planning on going strong ahead. Could be one of the reasons.
Yeah.
And now Rhapsody is being right-clicked here. Rhapsody definitely a hero that has had its impact last game. That was beautiful plays we saw from Yuko Big. Wonder if he'll play it again. For now being right click here. Oh, imagine Euphoria with all that gank potential as well. I'd say either one of those two would be a great option. I actually really want to see the Jabora in this game.
Always a fun hero to watch, definitely, and so it would be cool if we do get to. But they're definitely thinking about it. Oh, they go SolC instead. All right, fun hero to play, annoying ass hero to cast. I'll say that much, but I'm sure annoying to play against too. Puppet Master, very quick response from Solar Club as a carry, and even a quicker response. Okay. What's that? Oh, SolC 77.8. Wow. It's only 9 games, but still.
Yeah.
Huh.
And there's Legionnaire, Breaky.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who would love to see Legionnaire in competitive games.
Why did they go SolC, though? Like, that's kind of throwing me for a loop here.
Well, SolC and Legionnaire are great together.
True. That's
if you spawn illusions, then the wedding blades still proc, and SolC can obtain a lot of gold from just spawning illusions on Legionnaire.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So yeah, with how fast they picked up the Legionnaire after, I'm actually that's probably what they're planning. Then that's true. I wonder if we're going to see something really different here. I guess we're remaking, but. So yeah, she can. The coolest thing about that is not only can she obviously the illusions will spin as you're talking about for the damage, but she can then create Legionnaire illusions off of the illusions as always. So could we possibly see like some kind of double jungle strategy? Like, would that actually be a thing? Or because I feel like yes, that's cool that you can do that, but unless you plan to really use that to its full effectiveness, was SolC the best pick here? I don't know. In the mid to late game, it doesn't seem like that's going to be something like, oh yeah, she can spawn illusions of Legionnaire. That's going to be great for the late game. I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think like SolC is one of those heroes that if your opponent has like if it works in your lineup and you have like a good reason to pick it against your opponents, for instance, in this case, I'll say that the biggest reason is that there's a Tempest and there's a Behemoth. Like, you can just stand way far behind with your SolC, spawn illusions, be tricky as heck.
Yeah.
And then when Behemoth jumps in, you quickly take over his body and jump in yourself. I guess that would be the main reason you would pick SolC in this game. That you want to be standing behind and either take over Tempest and Behemoth, and that's where you like make a big support happen with the support that has an elemental void.
Yeah.
For instance.
Yeah.
I think that would be the main reason here.
The interesting thing with it too. Well, so and let me just double check this real quickly. Does the ultimate from SolC, does it actually go through Shrunken Head? Like, so if they have a Shrunken Head on, can she still use it on them?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay, so the idea of like Tempest going in, and if he gets Shrunken Head, honestly, you could say SolC is actually a pretty decent Tempest counter because it takes over him while he's channeling his ultimate, and then he comes in with the ulti himself, a big Tempest ulti. Could be pretty epic on the Hellborn side. So yeah, SolC always definitely can be entertaining for that reason. Like I said, she is annoying to cast because all the illusions, and you never know sometimes in a fight, like she'll take over somebody and do something crazy, but it is fun potential for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how that works out for them.
So it is also one of those heroes that gives you a tremendous amount of vision, and with the Legionnaire, it constantly allows your opponent's lanes to be pushed out. Because you have the Legionnaire, you run him to your opposing team's lane, and then you just clear creep wave after creep wave, and with all those illusions, you just gain tremendous amounts of vision. And with all that vision, then obviously you'll imagine to see the Magnus, the Doctor, and the Bubbles just make coordinated jumps, which should allow them to pick off pretty much anyone on the Legion team who is not assisted by a teammate. So I think Team Who has a very risky lineup, but a very rewarding lineup. Mm-hmm. I'm really looking forward to seeing this game, this lineup go through. And it looks like the entire Hellborn team is going to be covering the top jungle here. And they might actually run into the Legion side, who is going with a 5-stack here. And this could be a big clash here. Magnus is at the bottom lane, and this is going to be a 4 versus 5 situation. I'll let you take over.
Uh-oh, Bubbles. Quick shell surf. Yeah, you're right. They know that. They're like, we need to get out of here, but I don't know if Legionnaire's going to be able to. Finish don't happen, sets up a beautiful prisoner hook, and that's going to be an easy kill on a Legionnaire. So bloodlust kill for Solar Club to start things off here off the bat. Yeah, you mentioned Magnus especially not being there. Last thing you wanted to do was get caught out in a big 5 versus 4 fight, and Legionnaire just simply could not get away. So good find, and how are they laning this, actually? They're going to leave Puppet Master up here with Behemoth as well. So they're going aggressive tri-lane. Interesting. They're taking advantage of the SolC, who tends to not be the most powerful in the laning phase as far as support goes. You like this choice here?
I think it's a great choice. I'm really looking forward to seeing all this action, and it looks like the Hellborn team has scouted that it's going to be a tri-lane here because they have placed a ward already, which is something that you see on high tier levels, is that you have like one captain who's saying, I think they're going to be tri-laning, and you go big like, well, I'll just ward it and we'll figure it out. And that's what's happening right here. Very well done by Yugo Big, and unfortunately, oh my goodness, that Puppet Master has a really awkward attack animation sound.
The 8-bit one, yeah. It is pretty funky.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Bubbles one, too. All these 8-bits, they got their own, like, 8-bit sounds and stuff. I do kind of agree. It's almost a little over the top, but it is fun, though, still. But yeah, no, he's gonna have free farm. You see what the Hellborn team's doing. Actually, they're already rotating. It makes sense. There was no way they were going to be able to remotely compete with that. But you look at Behemoth and Andromeda, though. They're like, you move, we move too. This is going to be fun. We're just going to follow you. In fact, they're going to run into Bubbles here, who is trying to rotate over to the top. He's going to be fine. But I really feel like Team Who, it's becoming more and more evident, they win a pretty greedy lineup. You know, SolC, a very, very weak support here on the laning phase. Legionnaire, a very passive jungler early on, or tends to be usually. So the choice of Solaire Club to go aggressive, I mean, it makes all the more sense, right?
But Breaky, Tempest is laning short lane. And look at that, he's going to be initiated upon right here.
Oh my
he's
god!
He's probably going to fall, most likely.
You're right. Why is he short lane?
We weren't even talking about that.
No, we were, but because I didn't even... What? That didn't even register. What the hell? Wow.
Oh me, oh my. And Legionnaire just picked up a lot of farm right there. Or was that Magnus? Magnus at least got the Volcanic Touch and those Tempest minions, and he's now sitting at 430 gold per minute. That's a very good start for Shotgun here.
Yeah. What I gotta hear what you have to say on that, though. I mean, so this is the one, like, maybe weak point for Solaire Club, where they're running a short lane Tempest. How do you think? How do you expect that to work?
The idea of going Tempest 1 versus 1 against a Suicide Magnus is not bad, but when Magnus has Volcanic Touch, your minions just eliminates so quickly. And look at that. Now Legionnaire gets blocked right here by Behemoth, and Dominic comes in with a stun. He should be dead, right? And yes, he will be.
Will be
Tempest,
another
however,
one.
in a lot of trouble here. He's almost falling, and yes, he will. What about Behemoth? Will he fall as well? He does. He does have a SolC with DD on his butt, and yes, he will. Now in comes the ball and chain, and down goes SolC. Finally, Andromeda's trying to get away. He will get away from the Magnus stun. Now, will he have another stun? There it is. There's the stun on the Magnus, and Magnus falls.
That was crazy.
Heavily favorable SolC.
SolC having that double damage rune clearly caught off the Hellborn team maybe a little bit, or most of the Legion side as far as the potential there from her. But in the end, they do clean up right there, especially onto Magnus coming out. So well played, obviously, by both sides really. But again, Solaire Club comes out on top as far as the exchange goes. So I'm still so intrigued by this Tempest, though. And you know, the idea of a Suicide Tempest was a long time ago. It's not something... We've even seen a little bit of middle Tempest in Han's history. So a laning Tempest, again, it's not like completely out of the ordinary rare. It's pretty rare, I guess. But actually, as I say this once again, Tempest is going to be gone on. Maybe this is one of his weaknesses. I think it's pretty evident of the laning phase, is that he can be ganked pretty easily, as they show right here now several times. So... The movement from Team Who, they're working with it. Bubble's able to get away at the top lane. But I don't know. It's this Tempest lane isn't necessarily working out at this point, FJ. So what do you think? Should they be doing something different here, or did they kind of just deal with it as, whoa, Behemoth chases down Bubbles. All right. Gets the
Very
kill.
nice picture by Behemoth right there. This is just a very funky game right now because so much is happening. And look at that. We're going to be seeing SolC running straight into Behemoth and Andromeda here. And he should. I don't know. There's no counter wards coming out from the Legion side here. So SolC should be fine. And yes, he will. And with all those illusions, you never know if it's the real SolC or not.
No. Yeah, that's just frustrating
With
to
that,
play
they might actually try to go for an illusion. Nah, they won't.
They may.
Almost
no,
got
okay.
baited though.
Yeah, no,
They almost got baited though.
she has to be like one of the most annoying heroes to play against, just because of constant illusions, and you never know if it's real or not, or for the most time you don't know. Now that is the real one, and actually, but look at this very early push from SolC Club. They sent Tempest mid. They are gonna find the real Cersei. Deceive comes out though. Oh my gosh, if she actually lives here, she is. They need that dust.
Actually, wow.
But Deceive is a powerful getaway tool.
It really is, and very well executed by SolC right there. And very unfortunate there was no counterwards coming out from SolC there. That would have secured the kill by an easy margin. And Tempest now deciding to go ahead and push middle, seeing as there's no way you can actually do anything at bottom lane.
Yeah.
Seeing as so many ganks are coming out, and Mag is now being level 6 here. Yeah, Tempest has to be on the move a lot here. Doesn't have boots yet. Is that what's coming on the current? Yes, it is. Tempest will get boots right now. And they're just saying, well, I cannot lane at bottom lane, so now I'm going to want to go ahead and push some towers. Bubbles is not necessarily a hero that I can kill, but I can push the tower. He is level 5, so he does have a high level elemental spawn. And it's not like... Well, Magnus could potentially go ahead and start pushing the bottom lane as well. You can just go behind the lane and start pushing, but there comes Behemoth, taking some XP as well.
Yeah. You know, the more I'm thinking about what SolC Club did right here, again, they went away from the norm. The realistic, like what you would have expected with the lanes was like, of course, Tempest jungle, you know, a short lane Puppet Master with Andromeda at least a start, maybe Andromeda go mid eventually with Prisoner, and then a Suicide Behemoth here. You know, wouldn't have been out of the question. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, that actually could have worked out pretty damn well, because, you know, you figure Tempest would have actually had some pretty good farm. You figure Puppet Master would still be getting some great farm. Now he is here, so maybe that's where it's working. But, you know, I'm rambling on here. Ultimate comes out onto, actually, I think that's Magnus who has currently the Puppet's ultimate on him. But he's not going to be able to deal enough damage to it. He loses the team in Andromeda. He's diving the tower big time. Elemental Void completely whiffs right there. I think it got Legionnaire, but that was it. He's going to fall. And the fight at the top lane from Team Who, big time in their favor, and they want more, in fact. Prisoner was still trying to hide in the jungle. Hide and seek, though. He gets found, and he eventually gets killed off. Shorkon gets credit for the kill. And what was that, a 4 for nothing? A 4 for nothing exchange at the top lane for Team Who.
Yeah. They did... No, they actually accomplished nothing with that. Behemoth did farm a little bit, but that's about it. That's very unfortunate by SolC there. And that's kind of the risk of going for an aggressive Trident, is that if it doesn't work out, what are you left with?
Yeah.
Tempest didn't work out at the short lane either. Didn't really accomplish much. And Prisoner didn't exactly win the middle lane. I don't know. It's gonna be difficult for SolC to really come back easily from this game. It can be done, of course, and by the looks of it, looks like Andromeda and Behemoth are going to be catching Magnus here. They get the stun off, Magnus comes out with the Fisher, I believe. No, he doesn't have enough mana. So that's very unfortunate. Magnus now jumps into the creeps here from Ancients. He should be fine. No worries there.
Yep, just shy on the mana.
Legionnaire is now looking at 330 gold min right now, and Magnus 470. The mighty Magnus. By the way, in his new avatar form.
Yes, it was. New ones, yeah. He's got a good start here. Bottle, Steam Boots, even has a mana battery, and I'm sure Portal Key's coming next in line for him. Yeah, you mentioned Legionnaire. I mean, definitely something you can't forget about. 340 gold per minute. He went the Ghost Marcher's Bottle build. That's proven to be a powerful build on him. Bottom lane, Behemoth going to get caught. He gets the Fidget stun off, but you go big on Cersei and ends up taking him out in the end anyways, despite that stun. So, yeah, this is where that's kind of what I was getting at before that fight took place, how SolC Club, they went with the very risky and frankly unnecessary kind of idea with the lanes. They could have gone the norm. They could have gone the expected, and I truly think they would have been better off here in this game right now. But yeah, Legionnaire coming in with the invis. They have no clue. He's going to charge and has to decapitate. No, the stun! Oh, he needed to use it right away. He did not. And now he's going to end up falling. He got the kill before at least. But he does still go down to Puppet Master ultimately. So Yeah, if he just decapitated him right away, I'm pretty sure it would have worked. So a little bit of a misplay there. From
That's a beautiful reaction coming out from Andromeda, though. Beautiful stun coming out from him.
Yeah.
Quick reactions and surely saved his teammate and sacrificed himself in return. But it was worth it. Well worth it.
So.
Nice attempt from Legionnaire, though.
FJ, though, am I wrong to say that? Is that just a hindsight thing, or the more you're thinking about it, do you think that this funky tri-lane set up with a laning Tempest was just a little over the top?
It was very reliant on tri-lane winning very heavily, and it didn't. It didn't pay off nearly as it was supposed to, and of course it's easy to say in hindsight because the idea was actually decent. It's just all about how well Behemoth and Andromeda roams, because Puppet Master can easily stand on his own against the Dr. Pulsar, or whatever 1v1 situation comes out there, and he was actually standing against Bubbles for quite a long time, while Andromeda and Behemoth was roaming, but they just didn't get enough out of it. And that single teamfight at top lane just completely, like, I don't want to say eliminated the hopes, but it had a very negative impact on SolC's economy, and not to mention accurate XP balance. They were already behind in XP because they ran a tri-lane. Oh, actually, look at bottom lane here. Magnus is going to be picking up the Behemoth, and will. Very well done. Shokan almost looking like he has a PK. He could have it if he wants to, and I believe that's what he'll do.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question there, but that death, and I'm pretty sure he would have had it now, actually, if it wasn't for him dying right there. So great find by Magnus. And you see Magnus even gets his own portal key, of course, himself. He's actually going to TP, looks like, to the base. Okay, it's just going back to base right there, but has his own and delays Behemoth on top of that. So the top tower push is successful. But yeah, right now you got the Hellborn side. In fact, regen rune on Dr. Repulsor. He's going to use that to farm up a little bit and help to push this middle lane on top of that, it looks like, as well. Legionnaire, he's level 9. He's got the Ghost Marchers in bottle once again. He, too, is working on that portal key. Level 6 Cersei, by the way, as well. Again, very worth noting. Now, the thing to really keep in mind with Cersei, once again, is that her ultimate, the Twisted Visage, ideally you want to use it on, say, the Tempest, the Behemoth. I really think Tempest is the absolute key hero that she wants, because it's only 75% damage that she deals, or 70% damage that she deals at level 1 of the hero that she takes over. So if you get a Behemoth, sure, there's a lot of lockdown, but you're not dealing a whole lot of damage, or not maximum damage, of course. Whereas Tempest, you're not looking to do damage with Tempest, you're just looking to get a big ultimate off, of course, and hold them in play. So, now, again, any of those heroes would be powerful. Hell, even the Prisoners would be good, so whatever they come with. But they're going to go right here onto Andromeda, speaking of that, as they get the easy kill onto her. And the TP's even canceled. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Cersei tries to prioritize here, as far as who she takes over earlier on in the game.
Yeah, it's going to be all about, it's going to be very situational as well. Sometimes she might be seeing, okay, I can really get a huge visual here, and actually look at that Legionnaire almost getting caught off here. Bubbles is in the mix. It looks like we will see it. Yes, we will.
I just love how loud Prisoner is. When he pops Prison Break, he lets the whole map know that he just used Prison Break. How loud he freaking is. Yeah, that's a portal key, though, on Legionnaire that he just got with that kill. So, big plays there.
Alright, so now that's 4 sort of portal keys on the Hellborn team. You have the Bubbles long range, you have the Dr. Pulse Ludicrous Speed, you have the PK Legionnaire, you have the PK Magnus. That's long range initiate.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about, and they do have the levels to do stuff. But Master not nearly farmed enough to take these fights on. So, well, we're looking for a big Tempest ultimate, I believe, and a big Shockwave for Behemoth, who does have his PK now. Just these levels.
Yeah, both Tempest and Behemoth have the portal keys, so clearly this is a timing here for Solaire Club to try to get that catch, to try to make it happen. Assassin Shroud just picked up on Puppet Master as well, so some big, important first items coming out here for the Legion team. Now it's a matter of can they use them. I gotta ask you about this, by the way. Bubbles, well, hold that thought, because we definitely have possible jumper in the middle lane. Going to be jumping on Dr. Repulsor, but the reaction there's the Shockwave on top of the Elemental Void coming out. However, Cersei is taking over Tempest. He's going to go in. He gets off an Elemental Void. Not the best jump, though. He had a chance to get all 3, and it did not work, and it was way too late on top of that, and now the Cersei Tempest is in trouble trying to run away. Magnus stuns out after getting hooked back in. SolC very likely going to get killed. She will. But a double tap for Noob McNoob right there on Tempest. And nobody died. Wow. A 3-for-0 exchange in their favor.
That was a beautiful, beautiful Behemoth ultimate right there. I think it pretty much hit everything it could have possibly hit there. That was a very, very well executed. And on top of that, the Tempest ultimate. We were talking about what they needed. And look at that Tempest that Behemoth now gets initiated upon by Magnus with the ultimate. And they just blew away. And Dr. Polsic got the assist for that.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he doesn't have the Icon of the Goddess yet. Those charges would have been lovely. Still a way to go.
Oh, nice
Yeah,
answer there,
that was exactly what SolC needed, but they needed to fall back a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
That's
that was
often one of the mistakes that we commonly see.
Yep. Yeah, there was no buybacks even. I mean, that was just simply them resurrecting. And yeah, you're right. It's knowing, especially that they have Portuguese, especially on a hero like Magnus, and thinking that you're just fine pushing as they kind of were, definitely biting them in the ass, as you say. So. What was that great fight beforehand almost taken away?
It was a little bit. It was a little bit unfortunate that they overcommitted a little bit to dealing damage to that tower. They should definitely just have fallen back. But again, easy to be Captain Hindsight here. But they should have known as soon as their opposing teams were starting to become alive again. This Conquer attempt is really risky because they actually do have wards, and well, they are gonna get it though. It seems like.
Maybe?
It does have PK. Could potentially do something here.
He's running over. No. You know, that again, just another strength of SolC, I'll say that. She constantly was sending out the illusions, scouting at anyone else maybe running in, and they just were not comfortable jumping in the end. So yeah, Doctor gets the token on top of it all. So yeah, it goes back to that previous fight, and as great as it was for the Legion side, the big picture, it still works out ultimately better for Team Moo. And now top lane, actually, Magnus, he's in trouble. Oh! He portal keys at the last second. Puppet Master needed to open a little sooner there, but couldn't get the chance, I guess. So, stay alive for the time being. Still chasing? Yeah. They're trying, but not going to get it.
Yeah.
But again, Puppet Master's spending a bit of time here trying to find some kills, not necessarily farming. And that's not good news for Solar Club. Unless they get a kill, which could happen here. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Which just happened. Oh, yeah. And Bob decided not to go for the Steam Boots. He went for the Creations.
I meant to bring that up earlier. What do you think of that?
Item choice. Well, it's good against Tempest minions, for instance, because it blocks 10 attack damage from any instance. That's good against minions, at least. Also, it helps his teammates not to get below the magical... Like, there's like the death zone armor. When you get like below fire armor, it suddenly plummets. Like, there's not a big difference if you have like 15 to 20 armor, but there's a big difference if you have 0 or 5 armor, because then we're talking 25% damage, physical damage taken from like 0 to 5. If you get me, like if you have 15 armor, it doesn't matter if you have 15 or 20. There's not a big difference, but there's a big difference if you have 0 armor or 5 armor.
Yeah, the earlier
so
mitigation.
With that, applying minus armor, yeah, exactly. So the effective HP increases a little bit with bubbles going for Lady Greaves.
I guess my issue with it is that why not just go a Sackstone, honestly? Because I feel like you go Sackstone and then you still get Steam Boots, and ultimately you get more out of the combo there of the items. And
a lot more expensive though.
It is. It's not a lot more. I mean, yeah, it is more expensive. That's true. That's fair.
Like plus 1k ish. Then he wouldn't have the PK by now. Then he would have to wait like 3 or 4 minutes for the PK. So yeah, it's a little bit more expensive. And I still love Steam Boots and Bubbles, and I'm not saying that his choice was correct. I'm just saying that that's why he would probably go it, because there's minus armor from Andromeda, and it helps his teammates a little bit against the Tempest. It helps him push as well, because he can apply plus armor to pushes. Also with all those SolC illusions, applying armor to them is also something that works out. There's a lot of reasons why it's good, but there's also quite a bit of reasons why it's not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a momentum thing. Like you you're sitting in the position of the bubbles and you're thinking, well, what is my role here? What do I want to do? What do I need in this given situation? And apparently it seems like he decided to go for this play Greaves. And look at that. He's now initiating at the bottom lane on the bubbles. Oh, sorry, on the Puppet Master. Out he goes.
Yep.
Once again, being the victim here.
Yeah, him and Dr. Repulsor able to find that Puppet Master by himself. You look at the vision here, or lack thereof on the lead side. This ward is sighting in the bottom. It was just play. So actually, middle lane jump on a SolC as well as Magnus coming out. Magnus is able to stun those. SolC also got away. They both got so low. But neither one falls, and in the background, Behemoth ends up going down, actually, on top of it. In fact, they're still going for more. They stun on Andromeda, does Magnus, and Andromeda will also eventually end up going down. That's got to be so frustrating if you're Solaire Club. They were so close to killing both SolC and Magnus, and they end up getting neither. In fact, they lose 2 people in the process. So Team Who now grouped up middle. All the illusions that have been spawned from SolC going to help lead the way towards pushing this middle tower. They know Shockwave's down, obviously. Now, again, they still have an Elemental Void with that said, so got to be careful about that. But Magma's sitting back. You got SolC sitting back, so they're ready for it. They're ready for that possible jump.
They're definitely ready. Yeah.
He's not in
Magnus
here.
also has to tap it now.
He's actually pushing
so that's a
top
great
lane.
pickup by Magnus.
Yep.
And I want to say one thing, Breaky. I was literally sitting here getting a little bit angry that they did not get the Magnus and the Andromeda kill, and the SolC kill. It's just, that was just very, very unfortunate.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad for them, because that they should definitely get their kill. We're talking less than 50 HP, weren't we? I was thinking if Andromeda just buys the Aurora right now, which he already did, then that would be enough for a double tap. Which would be one of the first double taps I've ever seen from Andromeda Aurora.
Not something that you would expect, no, but had the chance right there. Unfortunately, again, just did not work out. And yeah, you're constantly seeing too, Andromeda even using a Comma Stun to help take out an illusion. So they're starting to get to a point where they're having to use abilities to kill off these illusions that SolC just constantly creates and sends toward them. Again, got to be frustrating. Icon's been finished on Jim Carrey for a little bit. He also has the Arcana now, so that Hellflower is going to be following suit. Now, Puppet Master tends to, on paper, you would think Puppet Master is actually a pretty good hero against a Dr. Repulsor with the lockdown that he has. However, I think we had a stat where it was actually a Doctor versus a Puppet is actually like a pretty high win percentage for the Doctor, surprisingly enough. Now, there's a lot of factors that come into play, Def. I don't know. I found that interesting, if that's the case. Because, yeah, wouldn't you think that Puppet Master is actually... I mean, again, he's still very likely maybe on paper that he's a good counter pick against a Doctor.
Well, the reason why Dr. Pulse is very good against a hero like against Puppet Master is because he has the long range initiate, as we were talking about earlier. And seeing as Puppet Master really needs a lot of farm before he's actually, I don't want to say useful, but until he snowballs. Like, he needs the Shroud, he needs the Shrunken, possibly even the Whispering, but that's when he starts to really start hurting. And before that, he's very vulnerable. We were talking about how easy he was to gank earlier, and Dr. Pulse just adds to that. With the bubbles, with the Magnus, with the PK, there's so many long-range initiates there, and Puppet Master is going to be a victim of that, and has been a victim of that. Bottom lane, actually, Tempest now could be in some trouble here. Magnus and Dr. Pulse are playing a little bit cautiously here.
Yeah, it's obviously at the tower, so...
Yeah. If he uses his King of Sorcery, he should have enough for the ultimate.
Yeah.
And he also has the regen, so...
That's true. Actually, wow, Elemental Void comes out. They want to make this kill happen. It looks like they should. Yes, they do get it. Yeah, the Shackles make sure that he's not able to Lava Surge away. Doctor's also found, but he ludicrous speeds away.
No.
Was that that was the illusion, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was the illusion.
Fortunately,
they can still get back the wards and the Revelation ward, but yeah. But so
man, Doctor's
stupid
found.
Illusions.
That's a big kill right there. Puppet Master found Dr. Repulsor just walking around their own jungle. you got to look at Doctor a little bit there and kind of be like, okay, you know, you're having a little too much fun at being aggressive. As, again, that just happened to be good coincidence, though. Puppet Master with the Assassin Shroud up, found him and quickly kills him shortly after. So that's a big catch. Doctor does have a buyback, but, you know, they're pushing a first tower here, so doubt we're going to see that. Unless they set up, SolC is in a spot to make something happen. And Doctor's up in about 10 seconds, so really, yeah, they're going to fall back. They're not even comfortable pushing a first tower 25 minutes in right now. It's too scary.
Yeah, on his SolC.
Yeah, geez, that's big.
Very interesting item choice.
Is it? I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense. It's that idea that he could just sit really far back and then just portal key in, and once the fight has kind of already started, and just take over who he wants.
Well, I mean, sure, it's good. It's just odd
that he has it.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like, we're talking 4 PKs on the Hellborn side right now, and Dr. Pulsar.
Yeah, that's actually right. Yeah, they pretty much have 5 portal keys basically.
Very mobile team.
Yeah. Now, man, what do you think about that? I still to this day, I don't know. I just don't get a shrunken head on Legionnaire. Especially at this point. I really feel like people underestimate the idea of like an Insanitarius or honestly even just like a barbed armor instead. But shrunken head just doesn't feel like an item to me that's good on Legionnaire. How do you feel?
Guess he's kind of getting it because he knows he'll die regardless if he jumps in without the shrunken head. He wants to get his charge and his taunt off. Guess that would be the reason. I'm not a big fan of Shrunken Head either, but this, if I had to get it, this would probably be the team that you would get it against. In this case, it kind of makes sense since seeing as there's a Puppet Master who can hold you, who can puppet show you and whatnot. There's the Behemoth who can stun you. There's a lot of things that you need Shrunken Head against when you're on the Hellborn side, but. Yeah. Shrunken Head on Legionnaire, that's one of the first times that I've seen that.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. Like, yeah, there's pretty much always going to be things that Shrunken Head's good against, obviously. It's always considered just a solid item. And for a hero that initiates, I get the idea, but it just goes back to that Legionnaire, you know, he jumps in, he taunts, he ideally then decapitates somebody if they're low enough, you know, to follow up with some added damage from somebody else or just from himself. But as far as trying to stay alive, like, again, I feel like an Insanitarius for even cheaper gold, in essence, can almost help you more stay alive and also still put out, actually be a threat to deal some decent damage. You know, again, even the idea of a barbed armor, I just think almost is better. Because, in essence, that almost is a shrunken head, because usually people won't want to attack you, or whatever, you know, when you do have that up. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I just don't feel like it is the best.
Again, it's a gut call. If you feel like that's what... Look at that. Actually,
oh, look at this jump here. Yeah, they're going to jump. He jumps in with the Legionnaire, but the Elemental Void comes out, but Behemoth, that's the SolC Behemoth, saves the day. And changes everything. A quick 3-for-0 exchange in favor of Team Who. It seemed like the start was okay, but as soon as SolC jumped in with Behemoth, not so much. Not so much.
Well, 3-for-1, they got the bubbles, but
okay.
Still, yeah, definitely major in favor of Team Who. Very good team fight, and they're probably going to be able to get the tower right here. There is buybacks available on the Legion side, but there's no Tempest ultimate. There's still a Behemoth ultimate, actually. Behemoth still has his ultimate active already. That's very unfortunate he didn't get to use that.
The real Behemoth didn't use it, yeah, you're right.
The real Behemoth, yeah, okay. The real Behemoth.
The SolC Behemoth did, but not that guy. Not the real one. Yeah, so he still has it, but not going to get the chance. He is level 11, but obviously they fall back beforehand. But yeah, you just see the impact of SolC as well. It's ridiculous. This hero's god tier support as far as mid to late game goes. There's no doubt. The fact that she has that ability with her ultimate, and again, especially with a portal key, how she could just sit really far back and then portal key in to then counter is just so huge. Hellflower finished on Dr. Repulsor as well. So another big item pickup here. Yeah, I mean, Puppet Master, he's got the shrunken head, but his damage output right now, you know, it's still lacking somewhat. He ideally wants more, and What is that going to be? Well, we're going to have to find out here shortly. What do you think? This is another thing I meant to bring up earlier too. You know, we talk about the Lucians, how annoying they are, but not only, but they also do things like kill couriers, as we saw, but they spot veiled rot ganks too. Like, I've seen that several times. They use veiled rot trying to go in for a gank, and the illusion just spots it, so it takes it off. They just can't do anything about that.
You were talking about how SolC was one of the most annoying heroes to play against. Well, this definitely adds up to it.
Yeah.
Now with a bound eye, SolC as well.
Uh-oh.
That Bubble's now trying to get the initiate off. There's the kill feed on 2 players.
See Dr. Repulsor in the background, finds Behemoth actually. Quick swap on him though, trying to give him a chance to make something happen. Legionnaire, he's dealing with a couple of heroes. He ends up dying in the background. Magnus Eruption's basically nullified as he could not portal key in after, not sure why. Oh, Tempest being taken over. Tempest, SolC takes him over, pulls him in, both him and Puppet Master, and that's not going to be stopped. He also had a shrunken head up. The other Tempest, his Elemental Void wasn't off cooldown yet, so SolC once again coming through big time here for Team Who, as Dr. Repulsor is going to chase down Behemoth to get another kill. Prisoner over here trying to kill SolC will actually do so and get the bound eye, so at least Just Man making a couple of plays happen. And he'll be safe going back to base, but again, damage done already at the same time by Team Who. God, SolC yet again making a big play. Has he got the top tower kill? All right. So what kind of...
Well, it's something, for sure. I don't even know who I'd put on top of that team fight, because we did see Dr. Repulsor getting 2 kills. Bubble surviving as well.
Oh, yeah. No, Team Who
Puppet Master did not and Puppet Master did not survive, which is very crucial. Puppet Master's not really picking up any farm here.
Yeah.
Which is very, very, very important that he starts doing that. Like, Kandorf is only he's sitting at 400 gold minutes, so he's actually on par with Dr. Repulsor. It's just that he just needs so much more to make this work. And I want to say, well, he does have a Tempest or Behemoth to support him and to stand guard for him when the opposing team initiates, but so does Hellborns. They have SolC. And there's obviously the Legionnaire and the Magnus.
That they do. Andromeda's roaming around. Seeing if you can maybe find somebody.
There's Storm Spirit here. Look at the middle of the tower, by the way. Team Who is deciding not to deny this tower?
Which tower?
The middle tower.
The middle secondary. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems like teams, they kind of like to do something, because obviously it does give you both a little bit of vision, but also that somewhere you can teleport to. Oh my god, they found Puppet Master here. What was that, a blind? No, he did have a rev ward here. I was wondering if that was a blind stun or not, but he actually was able to see him initially, and the fight now commences as Dr. Repulsor flies in. The Voodoo Puppet on him, though, doing some good damage, but Magnus comes in with the eruption, and 4 players dead just like that. Tempest, the Elemental Void is canceled pretty much immediately. You see SolC, I think, was trying to take over somebody, but it didn't matter. A 5-for-0 genocide coming out there for Team Who, and now they're going to start working into the base. Buyback situation, Prisoner and Andromeda, and that's it. And those 2 alone are not going to be able to hold here at the base. So this, at the very least, should be a Rax coming out, if not more, in favor of Team Who.
Yeah, there's always the option of going for Conqueror after Barracks. They should have enough. I don't know if they have enough time for that, but there's the Tempest Void on cooldown, but he still has his ultimate once again. It's very unfortunate, to be honest. I don't know if you noticed, but Tempest actually jumped in with the Tempest Void, with the Elemental Void, and hit nothing. He was literally casting it right in the air. There's Behemoth getting a lot of minions.
Nope, he's going to be fine there on Magnus. Gets back. So, yeah, damage done, obviously, by Team Who. Got what they came for, and they get on out of there before much else takes place. So, yeah, right. I mean, Solar Club, what kind of hopes are you giving them? What do they need to do here to make something happen?
Well, they need to start initiating instead of being initiated upon, because that's really the key here. Like, they need to be the ones initiating, and they need to initiate with the Puppeteer's hold and the ultimate, so they get 1 pickup before the team fight actually starts. I know it's a lot difficult, but they need to be doing that. And then they need to use the Behemoth as sort of a blocking tool, and it's difficult because your opposing team does that. Well, actually, the opposing team only has Shrunken, so Behemoth should be able to get proper ultimates out. but it just seems like he's not. For some reason, I really can't tell you why he's not able to get these ultimates out, because he should be. Oh, actually, he did it. No, he hasn't really been able to get any perfect ultimate out yet, or any impact ultimates. Now Conqueror is being attempted here, and he still can't because there's a SolC constantly interrupting his PK. So I guess this is one of those scenarios where he should actually have went tap instead. I don't know, because that wouldn't get blocked by PK. Nah, PK is still good. He just needs to like sort of find the right angle, I guess. Yeah. It's just very unfortunate that we haven't seen a proper PK ultimate, and we haven't actually seen that good Tempest ultimates either, to be honest. Like last team fight, he was hitting air and quickly interrupting the other team fights or taken over by SolC. So yeah, it's very difficult being SolC here. So that club.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's one of those cases. I obviously agree with you. We haven't really been able to see any of the big ultimates come together, but it's a lot easier said than done. This is a difficult task against this against Team Who over here, as that has proven to be. And again, it's just good play by them. But the 4 portal keys, I mean, really 5 in essence. If you count Dr. Repulsor, kind of just the gotcha potential and how they could just be on top of you so quickly and into those team fights. And before you know it, you've already lost a couple of heroes. So it's not easy. And you would think that their best chance is to get a big fight happening at their base and try to work with the uphill as well as a possible tower. But we'll see if they get that opportunity at the top lane now. Dr. Repulsor, again, though, he has the token of life. So even if you do make something work here, and a shrunken head, yeah, that he just got too. So, and 20 charges on that Icon of the Goddess. So a lot of reasons why it's not the easiest task once again for them. SolC even manages a post haste. Jeez, that's actually a very powerful item on her too, and just for the team because you could use it on your illusion. So send the illusion somewhere and post haste to it.
Oh, if I thought I could swap SolC right here, that'd be pretty good. He almost was in range, right?
Well, yeah. Hopefully the real SolC. that's the biggest thing to keep in mind. Andromeda could be jumped by Doctor, by the way. She has a Void Talisman, but obviously that's really going to do not too much. There, Tempest. What was he doing in? He got silenced immediately, I believe, as soon as he jumped in. He goes down. Voodoo Puppet on Doctor, but again, he even has the token, so even if he does manage to die, it won't really matter. So not the prettiest fight here for the Legion team. Hook back in on Doctor. We'll bring him in. Eruption though for Magnus. Tempest buyback. He dies right away again. Behemoth does go in with a shockwave, but now he's going to try to run. It ain't going to happen. And Puppet Master trying to finish the job, but again, still having the token. GG, well played being called. It looks like game 3 going to go to Team Who right here. When it's all said and done, they're kind of just having some fun with it now, but that is going to be official as it does go through. So again, Team Who, they come out on top. Again, they're up 2-1 now. This is a best of 5 though, so still not done yet, just to remind you guys. But game 3, 2-1 lead now in favor of Team Who. Final thoughts on that game there, FJ?
Oh, very well played by Yuko Big. Very well played by Dr. Repulsor as well. I mean, I want to say that I gotta give credit to the entire Who team. And Shawkan sitting with 13, 3, and 11. 450 gold minute Magnus with the cheap stick in the end. Very well played. I don't want to be the guy who bashes anyone, but I really feel like the plays were a little bit weak coming out from Noob McNoob. The Tempest ultimate was just not there, and he got picked off a little bit in awkward spots. The decision to go Tempest solo short and getting picked off so many times, it was just not his game. Yeah. I don't know if he was a little bit off or whatever happened, but I really hope that he steps up the game in the next game. Because they definitely have the potential to take this into game number 5.
SolC pick once again proved to be very beneficial for Team here, so definitely give them props for that there too. And yeah, you also got to remember too where that game started. It was really interesting with the laning phase from Solar Club. They went with the laning Tempest, and they did an aggressive trial, and initially it seemed like it was actually working out fairly well. Other than, well, the Tempest, speaking back to him, he just could not get much going in the early game stage, and it was an odd yet it was a unique strategy, but clearly just did not work out for them either. So, again, the ultimate point is Team Who comes out on top, and then once again they are up 2-1 now here in this best out of 3. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, game number 4 going to be coming at you here for the Dead